you're watching Valley Varieties with April Davidson. I'm your host, and I have a very exciting guest today. His name is Tim Reese, and I'd like to introduce him. Hi, Tim.
Hi, April. Thank you so much for asking me to join you today. I'm so excited to share with you information about Salem rugs and
I'm excited
what I'm
to have
currently
you.
up to. Yeah.
So how do you want to get started on this? What do you have to share?
Well, some of you may remember me. I've lived in the Valley since the mid-'80s, worked in a lot of nonprofits here in the Fresno and Central Valley area. My grandparents farmed in Chowchilla and retired to the great city of Bakersfield. So I'm at home and retired, and was looking for something that I could do that would help other people. And I came on this idea of Salem rugs.
And so how exactly did you get upon that idea? Where did you find
Well,
this?
it's a long history that goes back over 50 years. I was fortunate to live in Afghanistan. My father was assigned there with USAID, and I graduated from high school at the American International School of Kabul. And I fell in love with the country, the people, the culture, the history, the very dirt captivated my imagination and my heart. And I always thought that when I left at 18 and came back to California to go to college, that I would return to Afghanistan. I had no idea what would happen. And my father got transferred back to Washington, D.C., and I did not have a chance to return to Afghanistan. And then, of course, with the Soviet invasion and the last 30 years of war, was traumatic for me because I would watch the news and see people and places that I loved and cared about being destroyed and disrupted. And I grieved for a long, long time for that loss in Afghanistan, and always wanted to return, always certainly wanted to help the Afghan people and kind of pay it forward because they were kind to me as an American kid. They were welcoming. They were gracious. Afghans are very hospitable and wonderful people, and I'll never forget that kindness. And in 2003, after the Taliban were overthrown, I went back to Kabul with other Americans and Afghan Americans who had been born there but grew up here in the U.S. and never been back to their own home country. And then myself and my peers from high school who had not been back. We had been there as kids, but as adults had not been able to return. So we had this wonderful 3.5-week trip back home, as I say, to a ravaged, war-torn, damaged country trying to recover. And I'm so thrilled because Afghans are entrepreneurs, they are hardworking, they're extremely resilient in spite of everything that's happened in the last 30 years. But when I came back, I ultimately, at some point in my life, wanted to do something to help Afghans. Mm-hmm. I felt this obligation to do something. And, you know, what can I do? I'm this guy from Central California. I'm working in the nonprofit sector. I'm telling my story to everyone, and my daughter's heard it all many times over. So there was an opportunity when I met Salem online on Facebook, and this young man intrigued me, and I very quickly realized that he is the future of Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. He is smart, creative, hardworking, ethical, and very educated. He speaks 4 languages.
Oh my goodness.
Tajik, his native tongue, Uzbek, English, extremely proficient, and Urdu, self-taught by watching Indian movies on TV.
Oh, goodness.
So he's sharp and such a wonderful guy. Young man. His wife and daughter live in northern Afghanistan. He lives in Kabul, the capital city where our main location of Salem Rugs is located.
Okay.
And his family's been in the rug business for many generations. And he's proud of that art and the tradition and his connection with primarily women who are low income, living in rural communities, who have a home cottage industry, that he can then hire them and support them in earning a living through making rugs and kaleems. And I thought, this is my chance to help him, but through Salem, help dozens of Afghan families in northern Afghanistan earn a survivable wage and help their families live and survive. And Salem, I've not met him personally, but through the internet and through video conference calls, I've gotten to know him very well. And his daughter is adorable. And I think the investment in him and in the next generation of Afghans is so critical, important for peace, for prosperity, for cross-cultural understanding and mutual support. And I hope that in some small way I am able to help him, help his family, and bless them. And so I'm promoting and helping Salem Rugs. Of course, our goal is to sell his unique products here in the U.S. and introduce him and Salem Rugs to an American audience. And I'm volunteering to do this. I'm retired now on Social Security and living here in Fresno and wanted to get involved in helping him. So I am his unpaid volunteer, professional, hopefully, and using my desire to help promote information about Salem rugs, Persian carpets or rugs, and kaleems in particular, because I think those are a specialty, unique product that he's able to produce.
That's great. So this is not a financial gain for you.
No, up to this point, it's all been investment and dollars out, but well worth the investment, because I know that inshallah, if God wills, it will be repaid back many, many times to Salem and his family and those rural cottage industry families in northern Afghanistan.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
And so what made them choose the kaleems?
Well, it was interesting. You know, Salem has been challenged with selling his products in an economy in Afghanistan that is not good. And I started asking friends, and I had him send me an initial shipment that I paid for those items. And I found something interesting. Persian carpets or rugs are kind of, in today's world, a little old-fashioned.
Okay.
They're beautiful, and they will last hundreds of years. And each one is a work of art, but they're more expensive.
Okay.
Most people, certainly not me, can afford to spend $3 or $4 or $5 or $10,000 for a gorgeous Persian carpet. But kaleems appeal to young people. Kaleems are a all-natural, handmade, 100% wool type of rug. It's not hand-knotted like a Persian carpet, but
Okay.
it's woven on a loom outside in the yard by traditional weavers, almost always women, and they're using centuries-old techniques to create unique, one-of-a-kind kaleems. Now, what I love about kaleems is they're very traditional, tribal even, geometric designs. The colors can vary from muted to very bright colors. Salem is great at designing kaleems and supervising and overseeing the production of those kaleems. But what I have found here in the Central Valley, kaleems are more affordable, where a Persian carpet can easily be 10 times the cost. A kaleem is affordable and very versatile in decorating. Kaleems, of course, can be used on a floor as a rug,
Okay.
but they can also be used as accent pieces hanging on a wall, like a tapestry.
Very nice.
They can also be used on a table as a runner.
Okay.
And Salem his wife is making pillowcases out of kaleems, and she's also making handbags out of kaleems. So Salem is directly involved in all of these processes, and I'm here just to promote and say, come on, folks. Not only help Salem, but buying something from Salem Rugs means you're helping his family, and you're giving yourself the gift of a time-honored art form that will last many generations.
That's right.
So I'm happy to introduce those to you.
And so you showed me one of the products that it was a beautiful one, and you said that there was no dyes used in it. Do you want to tell me a little bit about
This
that?
is unique about Salem Rugs. Salem is very concerned about, of course, health, and Afghans traditionally always ask, hello, how is your health? And he loves the kaleems, particularly that are 100% natural, all wool. They are, the wool is hand spun.
That's amazing.
Which makes a stronger, better fiber. And he loves the kaleems that have no dye. Either all natural. I have learned and found out that sheep have 11 different colors of wool.
That's
I had no
amazing.
idea. To me, a sheep was a sheep was a sheep. But I found out they have 11 different colors from white to black. And so Afghans sort the wool out by color, and Salem makes kaleems that are no dye of any kind. It's 100% natural wool and the color of the wool. So these kaleems are called decolorized because there's no color to them, yet they're beautiful because the colors in the pattern might be, and here's an example on your screen of the natural wool that can be in that kaleem can be white, beige, tan, all the way to almost a gray to a black.
Beautiful.
And this beautiful kaleem I have here at a consignment store at Palm and Bullard in Fresno. Here are pictures of it being hand loomed in northern Afghanistan, outside on the ground. Salem has selected this modern style. This is a modern style that goes very contemporary with decorating here in the U.S. He selected the wool, had it dyed, and hired the workers to weave it. And that's the package as I opened it here in Fresno.
Oh, how exciting.
Wrapped. And I was delighted to have this one because it's all natural and no artificial dyes.
Wow.
Now, the dyes used that are the natural dyes, it might be black tea. It might be clay or dirt. It might be ground stone. It might be certain types of flowers or bark or tubers that are dug out of the ground that will produce particular colors. And Salem knows how to source those in Afghanistan so that when you have a all-natural dyed wool product, that dye is from plants and vegetables in Afghanistan or minerals from Afghanistan.
So you're saying that he just uses vegetable dyes?
His pride and joy are all natural dyes and or decolorized non-dyed kaleems. And there was one, I'm not sure if we have the picture or not, but it has a lot of muted gray and white, and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And Salem swears that it will improve your health if you sleep under an all-natural wool kaleem with no dyes in it.
Wow.
Because we do know traditionally that wool is cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and it has the ability to release your heat and sweat. So wool is actually historically and traditionally the clothing material of choice by people on the planet Earth for hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years. But now we, mostly wear synthetics or cottons because it's less expensive to produce. But going back in time to those honored traditions of all wool, that is one thing that Salem is very proud of and unique, because any of us can go to a major department retail store or a major retail specialty store and find on the rack kaleems and rugs from India, Pakistan, Turkey. Those are the most popular sources. But Salem Rugs can create for any customer here in the Central Valley a unique, custom designed, custom made. And the customers here can see the process from the wool being selected and dyed, to the kaleem being woven, to the kaleem being seared with fire to seal it and make it soft, being washed by hand, dried, and then the knots and fringe being fixed. That is amazing. When in my home I have this fabulous kaleem and I have seen it from the almost literally on the sheep through the entire process to my living room floor, which I love it. So this is something that we can offer that's very unique. It's not just run-of-the-mill, mass-produced, artificial, or lower quality items from somewhere else. You're getting the best possible at the best possible price from Salem Rugs.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. Very.
So we have something exciting happening next after this commercial break. Join us right after this.
Thank you. It's exciting.
Hi, it's April Davidson. We're back, and I've got Tim Reese, and I've also got Salem on the Facebook phone. So I'd like to introduce him. He is with the Kaleem Rugs, and so let's go ahead and introduce him.
Well, I'm so delighted. Salem John, welcome to the show. We're here talking about Salem Rugs and Kaleems, but I wanted you to hear directly from Salem. He is in Kabul, Afghanistan live, where it is a 12-and-a-half-hour difference. And he's going to share with you his expertise about design and manufacture of these amazing products from Salem Rugs. So Salem, welcome.
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your calling. This is Mama Salem from Afghanistan, actually from North Faryab province, which is now about 90% covered by the Taliban. Not good news for us, for Timris also, yeah. So me and Timris, since last year, since 2 years, we just started. It is not actually a business, just this is something for helping the women, to the people who are illiterate, the people, especially the women, so they can do something, they can make something for their family, for their child's future. So we are very happy with this. And nowadays we are very challenging with the financial problems, but we will do something, inshallah, no problem. Yes.
So Salem, how does it all begin with you and your design?
Yes. Actually, if we have any favorite design, any something in our mind or in the customer's demand, okay, we just make it and design it on the software on the computer. So we can clear so how many colors we use for the carpet for the kilim. So how many quality, for example, 40 by 40, it means 40 notes used for the length, 40 wool used for the width, like this. So if the designing process complete, so we collect the wools, the raw materials. You know, it started from the shearing of wools, sheeps. So if we find the raw material of the wools, okay, we need some people, especially the women, they are professional for making the knots. So it takes a time. For example, 1 kilogram wool is made, it can be knot about 3 days. So we have about more than 20 women, they do raw material of wool for the knots, which is used for the carpet weaving process like this. So if the making knots complete, we just make ready the wools for the washing process. For the coloring process. So coloring process, there are two kind of dyeing. One the natural dyes, and another is chemical dyes. So, both dyes have demands. So especially the natural dyes, there are lots of customers that have suggest to have their carpets dyeing like a natural dye. So it takes about 2 or 3 days for the coloring process. When the coloring process finished, so the main process starts, that's called a weaving process. So about, for example, 4 by 6, we need 2 workers to start this size, 4 by 6. So if the carpet is, if it is carpet at 4 by 6 size, so it will take about 2 months. If it is a kilim, it will take about just 20 days.
Oh my God.
So when the weaving process finished, so 80% of the carpet or kilim we finished. After that, the washing process starts. After the washing process starts, there are something like we decrease our products. So after that, our products ready for using.
And Salem, what are you most proud of as the creative designer and the spirit behind Salem Rugs?
Yeah, the one thing that we both proud, Tim Reese, when we have any without the customers, there are something that we have. If we just step by step grew up to make our dreams to the reality, to the that we can touch, we can see, we can have always in our eyes, in our life. Okay, so it sounds very good, not too bad, so if we have something, people always thinks, when they hear Afghanistan, always thinks about the war zone, exploding like this, Taliban terrorists like this. But no, this is sometimes to show that Afghanistan is not just for the war, not just for the dying. No, if the people see like me from inside of Afghanistan, there are lots of beautiful things in Afghanistan. People is very interested for the education, interested for the something that can prove Afghans they're not the bad people. They're not like this. If you say from inside, all Afghans very the kindest people. the most talented people. This is why we have opened the global market for our Salem rugs. This is not something that we can't, that we can't proud.
And Salem, please tell me about your dream for your beautiful daughter.
Yes. Yeah, I have a daughter called Gawhar Begum. She became 3 years old this January 19. So we passed her birthday. So I just wanna make happy whatever I can do, whatever I want to do. So I can't wanna force him. Hey, this is your time. This is your that you must be a doctor, engineer, something like this. No, 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 no. What the most thing that I just want to create for my daughter, just making him satisfied, making him agree what she is, what is she, okay? I just want to make him happy. I just want to tell him that whatever she wants, she is able to decide, she is able to live, she is able to do everything. I can't force him. I can do something, just I can be a coach in her life. Just I can be not as a dad, as a teacher. So whatever she has a dream, I can be supporter. I can be something like him, behind him. So this is something that I have. I have some dreams for my girls.
Well, Salem,
this is something that lots of Afghans. This is something that lots of Afghans they kill their dreams when they became a young. It is something that it's like that I have experienced that when it is the marriage time, so the girls, the boys don't have choices to have your best partner, everything, especially in marriage time. It is like a traditional family like this, if for example, if the girls, if it's 19 or 18 or less than that, so girls, they don't have any choice to leave. They don't have any choice to refuse their family's request. Oh, that's your cousin. He's very good by, but you can. This is a good that you can have. He can be your partner. No, 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 no. This is why the most things, especially for the north, for the other side of Afghanistan, is very famous. The girls. I have seen some girls, some family. The girls is not ready for marriage, so unfortunately they get married. So after some few days or some months, they suicide something. They suicide. It's not good news. But I don't want to do these things for my daughter.
Salem, thank you so much for sharing the process of making Salem rugs and the dream you have for your daughter. I am so proud of Salem because it is the good men in Afghanistan who help create successful women in Afghanistan, and brave men who stand up and say, I'm proud of my daughter. I want her to be able to be anything she chooses to be, and I, as her father, will stand with her and advocate for her for equal rights and opportunity for all the women of Afghanistan. And I'm very proud of Salem for being a brave man who believes in his daughter and her future. And this is why we have an opportunity to buy products from Salem Rugs to help Salem, to help his family, to help other poor rural families. And I want to see his beautiful daughter graduate, and I can send her congratulations when she becomes a doctor or whatever it is she chooses. I'm so proud of Salem, and thank you very much for joining us today. We have to go to a commercial break, but thank you. And I hope that we will have many sales to support you, your work, and your family.
Thank you so much.
تشکر.
Yeah. تشکر وامان خدا. Thank you so much. Have a good time.
It's April and we're back. I have Tim Reese here. We just had an exciting experience with Salem. And did I say that wrong?
Salem, live
Salem.
from Kabul. Yeah.
Yes, that was so exciting. And so we're going to go ahead and continue with the questions.
Sure.
And I was going to ask you, what is your most popular product you have?
Well, I think the greatest interest is in the Kalims, and we're trying to find the right price point.
Okay.
Because that is very important to customers.
Oh, definitely.
And I get that and understand that. So people are looking for value. And part of that process is educating them about Salem rugs and our rugs and Kalims and why they are of value. And once people understand, oh, I didn't realize there were so many, like Salem went over the steps. There's at least 8 or 9 unique individual steps to produce a Kalim, which can take 2 or 3 months, and a carpet can take much, much longer.
Oh, I know. I was very impressed. Yeah. That's a long time.
It's all labor intensive, all handmade. And for example, in Afghanistan in the winter, we can't produce Kalims or our rugs because they are woven outdoors on a loom, not in a big warehouse. And so the families can't produce them in the wintertime outdoors. So we have a little challenge getting our products made in the wintertime. But one, we're reaching out and educating customers.
Yes.
We're also, I am not good at social media. I mean, I love Facebook, but I am not particularly adept at social media, and we do need some help in that area. So if someone would like to volunteer and provide some assistance around helping me get with it with social media, now Salem is terrific at it.
That's what you were
I'm
saying.
not.
Yeah.
Also, any opportunity to share, to talk, to show, I'm ready. I'm retired. So, and I'm doing this out of my heart, wanting to help Salem. So I'll go almost anywhere within an hour's drive and promote these products. They are unique in that the Kalims are affordable, and they are great with mid-century, modern, or arts and crafts architecture and design. And they can be used in a variety of ways, as I had said. The bags, purses, are also popular. We've sold quite a few of those because they are handmade, they're unique, they're affordable, and they're kind of cool. I'm an old guy saying cool.
Oh, I saw them. They're
kind
amazing.
Of hippie. They're kind of hippie-like.
I like them.
And so for retro, a lot of people like that retro. And one of our satisfied customers, you saw her standing there modeling her bag. She was my first customer, and she just loved it.
She just had to show it off, didn't she?
She did, absolutely. And so I'm really proud of that first sale.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The other thing that we have that is gaining in interest and popularity are the pillowcases. And I made the mistake of ordering pillowcases that were a little too small.
Oh.
And so my daughter immediately clued me in.
Okay.
Dad, these are beautiful, they're great, they're wonderful, but they're too small. And when you stuff them, they're going to be too thick
Okay.
and too big. poofy. So Salem is going to make have his wife make about 20 pillows
Oh, very nice.
cases, but they'll be larger.
Okay.
So more versatile to use in today's home and on today's furniture. Now, the sky is the limit in terms of what we might be able to do, because a customer can give an idea. We can get Salem to consult with them, and he is the creative designer and can come up with really almost anything that the customer might want. And what I love in Afghanistan, and Salem isn't quite convinced that an American consumer might be interested, is they use Kaleem's to frame archways in homes or along pillars along ceiling in a home.
Okay.
I love them because they give this kind of Middle Eastern tent-like feel
Right.
in today's contemporary apartment or home. And I'm trying to convince him. I think there might be a market for a few folks. So the possibilities are really limitless.
It sounds like it.
And we can actually make anything from an idea, a drawing, even a photograph. And that might be important to someone who has, say, grandma's old rug that is just worn out, but you're in love with the design, the colors. If Salem has a photo, he can recreate that for you, and that loved item can live another 200 years.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I was just about to ask you what sets you apart, but it sounds like you just summed it up right there.
We're unique. Salem is gifted and talented and hardworking, and we're not a regular retail seller on the internet, because if I have a product in stock and you want to see it in your home, the Afghan tradition is I'll take it to you, bring it, we'll lay it down in your home on your floor or wherever, and you can look at it, feel it, and decide whether it's right for you. You can't do that online where you order something, it arrives 3 weeks later. You're not really sure what it's going to look like or feel like, because how it feels is very important. And Salem is going to really focus in our pillows that he's going to be making, that they're really soft, so that when you sit on them or with them in your at your back, they are comfy as well as stylish.
Very nice.
So those are some of the things that make us a little different.
Oh, it sounds like it.
You know me. I'm from the Valley. I can share with you my experience and help the customer make a good decision, even whether you buy from us or not, because sometimes there are questions of, well, how do I know this is a genuine, real handmade product? Or, it looks real, but is this machine made? And there are ways to learn how to identify the age, the style, and the way something's manufactured. YouTube is full of how-to instructional videos, and they're great resources.
Right.
And I've got books and other tools, and I go to the source. I'll send Salem a picture and say, what is this? And boom, he can tell me its style, when, where it was made, how it was made, and then I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's a real talent.
So what challenges do you think you guys have faced?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is we are, I hate to even say a business, because we are really a family-run cottage industry. I don't have money to invest. And Salem doesn't have resources. So the large online sellers, they will contract for 10,000 rugs. We're producing them one at a time.
Right.
And the biggest challenge we have is the shipping cost.
Okay.
Because we don't have large enough orders to ship containers by sea, which is the cheapest way to get them here to the U.S. So we have to air freight everything from Kabul, usually through Turkey, Europe, eastern seaboard of the U.S., San Francisco, and then they're delivered by truck here to me in Fresno. And so that cost can be pretty, add about another 40% to the cost of the rug is shipment.
Okay.
So one of the things that I'm hoping to do is be able to demonstrate a solid growing business with opportunity for future growth so that we can have some investment to grow it to scale, but not real big. You know, we want this to be managed by Salem, benefiting rural families.
Yes.
Where he's directly involved to assure quality,
Yes.
to assure that the money goes to the workers and the right people.
Exactly.
And I'm here volunteering just to do whatever I can to promote, advise. I'm a good sounding board.
I can tell.
He's a good sounding board. So we talk on Facebook Messenger, video conference calls several times a week.
That's amazing.
And it keeps our spirits up.
Yes.
Yeah, we encourage each other, motivate each other, but we do need sales.
Yes.
And that is critical because without the sales, I can't bring more product here to the U.S. And we're brand new. We're learning, making a few mistakes. I am. Anyway.
Oh, no.
So with your help, and with the customers out there in the Central Valley, will be a success.
So where can we find your product at?
Well, I've been fortunate because for a while they were in my garage, and I thought, oh Lord, you know, a shipment would come in, and now what do I do with the shipment? And I'm not good at promoting them online, so Vintage Me in the Tower District on Fulton. I have a space there with a number of our Kaleems on display.
Okay.
And that's the best place to see them and touch them and get a sense of what they look like, feel like, and how they might go.
And that's at 1040 North Fulton.
Right. And they're wonderful there. It's a great space. And Sharon is a delight to work with.
She sure is, yes.
A lot of energy, wonderful person.
Very motivated.
Oh, very, very. She's very helpful. And then another location I have is at the consignment store at Palm and Bullard.
Okay.
And Victor in there, Gabe in there is terrific. Very knowledgeable, very good at high-end items being resold at terrific prices.
That's great.
And he wanted some rugs because no one in Fresno really has a source for handmade rugs and Kaleems. And so I have a number of items there that customers are expressing interest in. And then Keenan, a friend of mine, his design shop is at Bullard and Marks. And he has many higher-end customers who are seeking his advice about design.
Okay.
And that's something that he can respond to and say, gee, this customer is interested in a particular style or size. I say, let me get something to them to look at and see if that's going to work for them.
That would be great.
So a lot of what we're doing is helping, we hope, educate, inform, so that customers make good choices for themselves, whether it's a product from Salem Rugs or not. We want to grow awareness, knowledge, and of course make sales for Salem and his family.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what you love about this.
Oh my. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I'm here to prove you can. I still have my rug that I bought in Kabul, Afghanistan with my babysitting money when I was 16 years old. 1 meter by 2 meter traditional red and black elephant footprint rug.
Aww.
I love that thing. And it only cost me $12.
Oh my gosh.
But at 75 cents an hour, it took me a while to earn the money.
It took you a while,
but
yes.
I love that rug. And I've taken it with me everywhere and still have it. I also have a beautiful, gorgeous, high-quality rug that my parents left me from when they passed that was King's design, and the quality of this rug, it's gorgeous to look at. So I remember those good times.
Yes.
And I remember in Afghanistan, the way to develop a patina on rugs is you put them out in the street and let donkeys and people and trucks walk and run all over them. And it's true. It develops this beautiful patina that you can only get with age.
Yes.
So, like me and us, we get older and hopefully like wine, we get better.
Exactly, yes.
But with these...
I'd like to think so anyways.
It can happen. So with these rugs, what you buy and invest in today will only grow in your heart as a treasure that you can then pass on to your children.
Right.
And given just reasonable care, these will last forever.
Yes.
And one of the challenges that people have is they might see at a yard sale or at a thrift store a rug and think, oh, it's a bargain for $100. Oh, but it needs to be cleaned. Well, I would never take a used rug that's been on the floor into my home without having it professionally cleaned,
Right.
particularly any wool handmade item. But at $3 a square foot, that can quickly add up to $300, $400, $500 to clean a rug that you thought was a bargain at $100, but you wouldn't have paid $600 for it.
Right.
So, be informed, be aware, consider what you like and want in your home, and then make that happen, because those dreams can come true.
Oh, right. Definitely. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share tonight?
Well, thank you so much for the invitation
Aw.
to join you today. It's been a delight. And thank you, Michael, for the technology and bringing Salem live from Kabul, Afghanistan. I remember in the day when we lived there and I was a teenager, you had to book your phone call through the international operator in Paris a month in advance.
Oh, my goodness.
They would call you 3 days ahead and say, your window of opportunity will be on this day between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Sit by your phone.
Oh, my
You'd
goodness.
sit by your phone. The international operator from Paris would call you when that one trunk line was available and say, you can make your call in half an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
And it was typically about $100 for a 3-minute call.
Oh, my gosh.
So to be able to be online, on a phone,
Oh, my gosh.
talking real time
Yeah.
is a miracle to me.
It is. It's
and
amazing.
an amazing thing. So dreams can come true,
They sure
possibilities can happen, and please, I hope that your guests will join me in helping and supporting Salem, buying a rug, telling our story, and helping us support those rural families in Afghanistan. And I would love to come back and we can talk
we'd
about
love to have you come
Salem
back.
rugs again,
Yes.
or we can talk about Afghanistan, what it was like living there.
Whatever your heart desires.
As you can tell, I love to share.
And I love that about
so,
you.
I'd be happy to come back and share with your guests.
Oh, my gosh. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
I
Tim.
really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Have a great evening.